What's going on, Minties? The Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition. And today, I'm going to take an advanced look at the Marvel Select Edition Iron Man Extremis, or Extremis, depending on how you pronounce it. So, please stay tuned. Okay, now before I get started, I wanted to give a quick shout out to David Gabriel and the folks at Marvel for sending me an advanced copy of this. This book comes out on November 6th at places like Cheap Graphic Novels or comic book stores. And speaking of cheap graphic novels, this episode is sponsored by cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions, up to 50% off cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels is currently offering up to 80% off over 250 Marvel Omnibus editions, Marvel Masterworks, deluxe hardcovers, and more. The sale has been extended until Tuesday, September 17th. Some of the deals this week include Captain America by Mark Waid, Ron Garney, and Andy Kubert Omnibus. The retail price is $125, but at 50% off, you'll only pay $62.50. Also on sale is Deadpool & Company Omnibus. The retail price is $125, but at 55% off, you'll be paying $56.25. You can find the sale by clicking on the banner on Cheap Graphic Novels' homepage or by clicking the link in the description below. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. So take advantage of that sale because today's the last day. Now, usually I have these books already open because I like to read them or I like to look at the build of them. But for the first time, I wanted to see this and open it up with you all watching. As you can see, it's sealed in its own little plastic, and that's the way most omnibuses come. Actually, all omnibuses from Marvel and DC come that way. And the Marvel Select line comes that way too. Most of the OHCs, the oversized hardcovers, come this way. So let's crack this open. So here is the book. The book retails for $24.99. And here it is compared to the other Marvel Select book that I have. I've done two of these in the past, the Ultimate Spider-Man and Thanos Rising. Here you can tell what the spine of the book looks like and then what the backs look like. Both retail for $24.99. And as I've explained on the channel before, these are the pivotal storylines picked by editorial to introduce new readers to the characters. So they went with Warren Ellis's and Adi Granov's Iron Man Extremis. So up here you can tell there's shots from the book, almost like a film, right? Like a movie, real. Let's look at the book and the build of it, and really quick, if you've never read this, oh man, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but what Warren Ellis does in these 6 issues, because it collects the 6 issues of the, I want to say it was the 2003, 2004 series, what he does is just rebuild Iron Man from scratch, rebuild the character of Tony Stark, and who he is. It retcons a lot of the things because honestly it needed to reintroduce the character to new readers. Marvel was about to launch their new line of movies coming in 2008 with Iron Man being the flagship title. So it was time to reintroduce the world to Iron Man. So he modernizes a lot of things, and I think he himself says that he's only read a handful of Iron Man comics and then he decided to do his own thing, which he does with this thing called the Extremis, or the Extremis, like I said. We are introduced to the character of Dr. Killian, who shows up in the movie, and also Maya Hansen, who also shows up in the movie. And when I say the movie, the third Iron Man movie is loosely based on the events that happen in this book. And I mean loosely. They take some parts of it and put it into the movie. I enjoyed the book a lot more than I did the third Iron Man movie. This has been collected before in Marvel Premiere hardcovers and in trade paperback format, which is the way that I've owned it. I don't think it was ever released in oversized hardcover format, or it's ever been part of an omnibus, because Warren Ellis, unfortunately, just didn't stick with the title, or maybe he was just signed on to do 6 issues. But as you can see how amazing this would look in oversized format with Adi Granov's artwork. Now, he himself has designed a lot of the armors for the movies, so he's known throughout Hollywood as well. So it introduces the characters of the Extremis, or what they are. I'm not going to reveal what exactly they are. Kind of a big opponent to Iron Man. Like, he himself has trouble. He kind of gets his ass whooped by the Extremis, and that's what leads him into becoming a new age of Iron Man. I'm not going to say what he does, but it really changes the character moving forward. All of this, by the way, happens before Civil War, the comic book. And if you want to keep reading after what happens in the events here, the next book you need to pick up is the Knopf brothers, Charlie, and oh my gosh, I cannot remember his other brother's name. But they were the ones that did the Carnival show, and they did an amazing job on Iron Man. Editor Knopf still provided the covers for those. But this is just an introduction to the character for new readers. It's really not for us that have been collecting books for a while. Now, if you don't own it and you collect comic books and you want to get into Iron Man, absolutely, this is the route to go. I mean, just the artwork alone should just hook you, right? It's absolutely gorgeous and just breathtaking. Look, that's not a cover. That is the internal workings. Now, people always ask, like, why isn't this guy doing internal artwork? Because he did the covers for Nova during the Annihilation time. Well, I can answer that. And unfortunately, it's because he's rather slow. And you can tell why, because his artwork takes forever to put together. So he doesn't do a lot of insides, which is a shame, because I'd love to see more of his stuff. Then we look at the ongoing series covers that he provided. Like I said, when the Knopf brothers took over the book. How important is this story, or how good is it? I mean, not that it matters, but I think it's one of the best Iron Man stories. I think it's a good retelling to introduce new readers to the character. He does a phenomenal job of just reintroducing old characters and introducing new ones, because a lot of these characters are new to the mythos of Iron Man. And I think he handles the portrayal of Tony Stark rather well. But that's my 2 cents. Now, as you all know, I like to show the book itself, the spine, how well it holds. These are sewn binding. I mean, this is nice. It's got glossy paper, and it's rather thick glossy paper, where the art really stands out because of those beautiful colors. But this is Warren Ellis and Adi Garnov's masterpiece, Iron Man Extremis. And that's the contents of the book. Let me know in the comments down below if you're picking up the Marvel Select Edition lines, or if you've never read the character and you want to try out. I recommend nothing more than Iron Man Extremis. I think it's a perfect jumping on point for the life of Tony Stark. Or if you already own the trade paperback and you're hoping that they would do an oversized hardcover one day, or put it into some kind of omnibus with the Knopf brothers stuff. Maybe. Who knows? Anything is possible. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button if you haven't yet. We are also on Patreon, where you can get early access to videos much like this. So, remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint.